Just see how fast Anime was running, bro. Anime looking like Usain Bolt out there. Look at him. Oh, dude. Oh, fuck. What am I getting hit by? Bro! What am I getting hit by? Oh, my God. Okay, Anime. Alright. What was I getting hit by?
Alright guys, I hope you like my little intro that I had to borrow from Eamon's stream. So sorry Eamon had to do it to you. Still love you though, brother. And not enough yapping. Again, you know, y'all can join the memberships. Eventually I'm going to start putting like a bunch of exclusive videos on memberships. And I have emotes and I stream on Twitch, which is the same as my YouTube name. So y'all can join the Twitch. I guess there's some hype button. Y'all are supposed to hit the hype button, and that apparently helps out my video. So if y'all want to do that, y'all can do that. It's always free. And then leaving a like in the comments also free, so I'd appreciate it if y'all did that. And anyways, enough yapping. Let's just get into the video. CP I decided to go with is I put on Cleansing Revival because we're using the Storm Calling and we don't have any cleanses. Focus Mending because the healing is a little bit suspect on this build. So I went with Focus. That one. And then we have Master at Arms. Obviously, all my initial hits of basically everything I use is a direct damage attack, so it'll buff all of that. It doesn't buff my dots, though. I think Deadly Aim would maybe do better, but I don't know. I just went with direct damage attacks. There's probably something better to put here. Maybe Thaumaturge might end up being better, or maybe even Force of Nature might be better. Not really sure. I know Weapons Expert can be really good since you're light weaving everything all the time. And then I have Ironclad because it makes you a lot more tanky. So yeah, that's the blue CP. Coming into the red CP. The sustain can get kind of sus even with what we have on. So I put Rejuvenation and I put on Sustained by Suffering. If you're playing in a bigger group and you don't really have sustain issues, you can just take this Rejuvenation off and put on either Fortified or Boundless or Celerity, or any of those will work. Then Sustained by Suffering for more, obviously, and then Pain's Refuge gives you damage reduction. Only CP that ever matters here is going to be Break Fall, and then Gifted Rider and War Mount are always nice and Cyrodiil to have just because you're always on your mount, aka Mount Simulator. And then these two are also nice to have. So yeah. Into the skills. Skills, I didn't touch around or change anything at all. My ultimate, I used Thriving Chaos, give me a bunch of extra damage. This can up to 6%. That's 36. I don't know why I always thought it was like 3%. I guess it's a 6%. So on average, if you can hit 2 or 3 people, you can get 12, 18% extra damage. And if you hit all 6, but you're doing 36% extra damage, and the dot is already really strong. So yeah, there's that. Blood for Blood. I call this build the Claw because, you know, these are kind of like all the claw animations in the game. So, you know, I have Blood for Blood. You know, it makes a little vamp, scratch, claw, smart thing. It's our main spammable. It's still really good. And it gives you the bleed status effect to pair on with your other status effects that you have. That's why I said Force of Nature might actually be the best CP for this, but I have no idea. Shriek is our stun, and it's an AoE stun and does good damage. Noxious Breath, this is a dot, does a little chunk of damage, and then our Major Breach mostly. Blast Bones, this gives you Major and Minor Defile, and is your burst ability. You summon this and then streak past somebody, so it always lands. And then Venomous Claw, one of the strongest dots in the game. Also gives you Poison status effect. So, yeah, this one works as well. Back bar, this should be Reviving Barrier. I'm just out of skill points, so sorry. Healing Soul, obviously Major Vitality with the heal and the restore resources to help with the sustain. Resolving Vigor, because every PvP build basically has this ever made. So if you're not using this, you're kind of trolling unless you have some niche build where you get your minor resolve from like Bound Aegis or something, or like the Necro one. But even then, I mean, the hot is too strong. I don't know why you'd ever not run this. Flames of Oblivion. This is it gives it actually a lot of damage. I tried Cauterize Heal, but it just didn't feel good. It felt useless, to be honest. And this just felt way better, as well as our major crit buff. Hurricane, even more dot damage. Actually, a lot of dot damage. So this one's really good. And then it gives you minor expedition as well as your major resolve buff. And then crit surge for more healing and your buff, your major brutality buff. Nothing on here would I probably change. I mean, if you want to use whip, it's not a claw build anymore, but you could always use whip if you want to use whip. That would work too. And then nothing on here I would change either. Grave Lord, obviously you have blast bones and you get this, so this helps with all your dots that you have. Obviously using dual wield with Thriving Chaos. I have an ice staff on the back bar just so I can regen resources and then I can get the extra blocking mitigation. If not, you can also use a resto staff or a sword and board if you're able to sustain the mag. That would work too. And yeah, I think that is it. I'm Vamp Stage 1 because the sustain is kind of hard. Vamp Stage 3 could also work, but I just kind of like having the extra sustain not being Vamp 3. My Undaunted, my stats are going to be higher because I don't have any Undaunted on my DK, my base class DK. So yeah, I'm missing a whole 6% resources from this. And also, I don't have any of these passives because I have no skill points. So you'll get even more weapon damage than I have. And then obviously these, and then you have your alchemy hopefully maxed out so you get this passive right here. Enough yapping for that. Character sheet, I got 18 points in the health, 46 in the stamina. Like I said, 6% more on this, bro. You're getting like, man, you're getting what? You're gonna have like 23k stamina, like 31k HP, and like almost 16k mag, or somewhere around that. So your stats are gonna be a lot better. Serpent for more sustain, and then Jewels of Misrule, obviously for my food. When you end up buffing up, I don't know if doing any of these make a difference, but I just am. On the stat sheet, I have 5,600. But obviously with continuous attack, that will be even higher, and you'll hit about 6k with it. So that helps out a lot for your damage. You have 4k base pen, and we'll get into that. It should be a lot higher. Your weapon damage will actually be slightly lower as well. It's because I have swords, I don't have maces, but you'll do more damage with maces, and you won't lose a whole lot of weapon damage. You'll lose like 250 weapon damage or something like that. So it doesn't really matter that much. Right here, we have these poisons that give me my minor savagery and reduces their crit damage. So this just gives us a higher crit chance. Instead of being stuck at 28%, we can hit 34%. First set we have on Pyrobrand, 1 Nern. This should be sharpened, and these both should be maces. I don't have maces, I only have swords. This adds dot damage. Also, do not sleep on the heavy attack. When people get low, it actually can do a lot of damage, especially if you're consuming all 3 dots on it. So if you like, somebody gets low and you summon your blast bones, you straight past them and then heavy attack them into the blood for blood, they might die. So back bar, obviously we're using rallying. As you know, this is basically the meta DK with, you can't see me, but you know the little quotation marks DK, because we only have 1 DK skill line, but we have Pyrobrand, so we're DK, you know. It counts. Now, weapon damage enchant on the back bar as always, so this will basically, I forgot to account for that. So yeah, you're probably still going to hit 6k weapon damage, even with maces on instead of swords, so this is just going to be way better. Oh, plus the 300. Don't forget the 300 from the rally, so it's 5,800. Plus this will put you over 6k with swords. And then continuous attack, and you'll have like 6,500 weapon damage, and like 60 through 200 with maces on, but you'll have a lot higher pen. Instead, you'll have like 8 or 9k pen, and then when you summon your blast bones and with your major breach, that's another like 9k pen. So you end up with like 16k pen. We have Roxa, because everyone keeps saying it's not Roska, it's Roxa. Don't care, buddy. I'm calling it Roska. We have Roska here. Yeah, we have on Roska here. This is for the sustain. Otherwise, sustain would be impossible on this. So we're just using Roska. I'm not a huge fan of Roska, but it works perfect on this build. I'm using a Pyrobrand chest. This I would preferably probably have reinforced. I just don't have reinforced, so we have it impen instead. But this also works. We are in 3 heavy, 2 medium, 2 light. Medium shoulder, also in pen. The sash and the gloves, both in pen. And then I have cruiser training. These are reinforced. Like I said, this should be reinforced. This should be in pen or reinforced. So my build's a little scuffed, but it still worked for me. Playing all scuffed and stuff. So this works. And then your Pirate Man boots, I always say with the glyphs, probably all tri-stat glyphs are the best, but I say just hit the numbers that you want to hit on your stat sheet and kind of, aim for some numbers, whether it's like 23k stam and 31k HP and 16k mag, and just kind of build your glyphs around those. Triple infuse, this is Markin. Malakath will give you more damage, because in that case, if you run Malakath, you can switch these to double dot poisons. So these will actually work. You'll actually do more damage if you go with that, but you'll be less tanky. But you should be able to live with it. So that is about all for the build. If you want to see what I was talking about here, you'll kind of summon your blast bone, streak past somebody, and then bang, and they'll die. So I just killed an innocent person for y'all. And yeah, that is about it. I'll get to the probably mini montage. Probably won't be as long. Cause yeah, I've been thinking about trying to do some things, and I've kind of neglected actually playing the game a lot. Especially with E-Man trying to ego Papa Killer. Bro, I was gonna use him for some 2VX clips, but then we ended up not playing on it. So yeah. Next build that I'll upload will probably be, I'm not sure if I'm uploading this or the Magplar first. One of the two, maybe even the bow sword. I have no idea. There's a lot of banger video builds I need to get out that people want to see that they keep asking me for. So I'll have to kind of decide, but I think this is what people wanted to see the most. So I'll do this into probably the Magplar, into the bow sword last. I'll try to upload these all within 2 days of each other. 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, and try to make more builds. So yeah, that's all I gotta say for now, and peace.
If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were no one. And I can't wait to see you hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were no one. And I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you